Oh my god, it's way earlier than I would typically be awake. I'm up this early because there's a car that's supposed to be coming to get me and take me to Padang Bay, which is the port where I'm supposed to catch a speedboat to go to Gili Air for the next week. It's really hard for me to talk right now because I've slept only 4 hours and I haven't had any coffee. So I've actually made it onto the bus. The man came just after 6 a.m. I was quite surprised by that. And now I'm in this kind of bumpy van and we are on the way to Padang Bay for the speedboat. It's going to be, I think, a couple hours.
We'll have to write their names down.
Which island for today?
Gili Gili Air.
This is your ticket for today, and this is ticket for way back, yeah?
Okay.
One day before, confirmation to my office or by WhatsApp.
Okay.
When you arrive here, come back directly to this office for the get transportation to this place, yeah?
Okay.
Just come directly to this office. Don't believe any taxi driver over there, yeah?
Yeah.
Don't lose all the ticket. If you lose, you have to buy new one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thus far, things have gone surprisingly smoothly. I got picked up just after 6 a.m. It took 2 hours approximately to get here to Padang Bay, which is the port from which we'll disembark. And I was a little bit nervous because I paid the driver my 500,000. He didn't give me any receipt or anything. We were dropped off at the little office and everything was okay. I gave my name and they gave me this ticket and also the return ticket. And now I'm just waiting for the boat, which is supposed to leave here in about an hour at 9:30 a.m. And then apparently it's only a 45 to 1 hour journey to Gili Air, where I'm going today. Quite a lot of people at the port. It's quite busy, quite hectic. Not a lot of people know what's going on, frankly. I was lucky, and I recommend that when you get off the little minivan that brings you here, kind of force your way into whatever agency that you have booked with to make sure that you get your ticket, because it starts to get really busy and people start lining up and it gets a little bit crazy. But so far everything, as I said, has gone pretty smoothly, and now I just have about an hour to kill and then we'll be off to island paradise, from one island paradise to an even smaller island paradise. Alright, well, 6 hours after this day started at dawn, I finally arrived here in Gili Air. Absolutely no problems at all. It took 2 hours on the ferry to get here, and I've just come to this little restaurant off of the main street to have a bite because I haven't eaten since last night and I'm a little bit... Actually, I wouldn't say delirious. I'm surprisingly awake for the fact that I got 4 hours of sleep. But it is so beautiful here already. I can tell this is going to be a really great place to spend the week and my birthday. One of the things that is so cool about this place is that you need to get around either by walking, bicycle, or horse-drawn cart. So this is as about laid back as it can possibly get here. I've just arrived in my guest house. This place is called Suena something, and I had found it on Airbnb. I think I'm paying around 19 or less, It was a pretty good rate, and when I booked there wasn't a ton available. Unfortunately, my sandals did not survive the walk over here. My sandals that I bought back in Goa in March are no longer going to serve me, so hopefully I'll be able to replace them. But I'm going to show you this little guest house. It's pretty basic, but I think it has more or less what one would need and want in a kind of vacation like this, which is supposed to be pretty rustic and back to basics. So inside, it's actually a decent sized room. It has a very high ceiling, and most importantly it has air conditioning, and then the rest is just super simple. At least it has 4 pillows, which is good because the actual bed is pretty stiff. And then inside the bathroom, voila, la salle de bain. Just a basic shower and sink, and then the toilet is behind here, but it's almost totally enclosed, though I just see that that window is actually completely open, so hopefully nothing is going to come in here and fly in at me. And that's it, that's the room. So I actually think that I am paying about $19 a night, because now, if I recall correctly, I'm paying about $150 for the entire week that I am here. I'm sure you can find much cheaper. On the ferry, some people talked about how they're staying in hostels, but I'm not a hostel kind of person. I need my own space, my own bed, my own toilet, all of these things. This Airbnb is pretty much in the center of Gili. I was about a maybe 10-minute walk from the pier, and what I'm hearing right now, what I was hearing during lunch, is a Muslim call to prayer, and that gives me some pause because I know that they start at 4 o'clock in the morning. Luckily I did bring my earplugs with me, but I do think that it's worth mentioning and something to be aware of, because I think that a lot of people come to the Gili Islands with the expectation of a totally secluded paradise, and the call to prayer can interrupt that serenity if you're woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning by that. But to be honestly, I feel like I'm always being woken up by something in Bali, whether it's roosters or the call to prayer. The only time that I wasn't abruptly awoken was actually in Canggu these past few weeks, being in the rice field and really not hearing anything except for when the villa owner would start to bang about in the morning. But anyway, I need to go now find a replacement for my broken sandals so that I'm not walking around with broken sandals, and then I think just explore the rest of the island today.
This one 40, it's still bigger. This one 40.
How much are the sandals?
Kita ansulita parah video ini.
Very big size.
Oh, very big. This 11. This 11 also.
And number 8.
99. Oh yeah, 8 or 9.
So what should we do with them?
11. Pantas sih baru pasnya datang.
Ini 11, 12 ini.
Tulis 11. Oh yeah. Yeah, sang berempat. Oh yeah.
Alright, well, I've got my new sandals for 25,000 rupiah. It's about $1.50. I hope that at least they'll last me through the week. They're not the most comfortable. I mean, thongs are generally not the most comfortable shoes, but I decided I just want to walk around the island to get a feel for where I am and what's around here today. And my Airbnb host just proposed to me to do a 3-island snorkeling tour for 100,000 rupiah, which is only like $7 or something, about $7, and that would be from 9 a.m. until 2:30 p.m., which is a crazy good deal. I might do that at least one of these days, but right now just walk around, see what's here. I see some yoga places, some cafes. It's pretty chill.
Oh, one man's dead.
Alright, I'm officially on full-on vacation mode, as if I really needed a vacation from my life, which is already basically a vacation, but this is so different from Bali. In Bali, I never go to the beach. It's either really crowded, or sometimes the beach isn't actually crowded depending on which ones you go to, but it just doesn't have this sort of tropical paradise feel. I mean, the water behind me is crystalline blue, turquoise, aquamarine, just stunning water, and the water is also really calm. In Bali, that's actually probably the reason that I don't go to the beach in Canggu, is the water is not calm. I mean, it's surf water, so the waves are really rough, but here, I mean, you can swim out and just bathe in this beautiful warm water, and you're surrounded by views of mountains and these other islands around. Wow, I mean, it reminds me obviously of Thailand. You know, I love to go to Koh Phangan, or even maybe a little bit of Krabi, just stunning, stunning water. And I've come to this beach bar to have a mojito and get into full birthday week mode, because everyone knows nowadays that birthday is not just a day, it has to be a whole week of celebration, especially turning 30. It is one that is going to be one to remember, hopefully, and I think it will be. So I've literally not moved all day long. I have been right at this same sun lounger all day. And am I mad about it? No, not at all. I am now going to watch the sunset from this beautiful place. And what else could you want more from life? Except I did want guacamole, which they were sold out of. So there was one thing that I wanted, but everything else minus guacamole I've had today. Totally fulfilling. I just finished showering and I found out that there is no hot water in this guest house. I found that out pretty quickly when I turned on the shower and turned the handle each way, and no way was hot. So that was a very quick shower, but good enough to at least wash off the sand. The thing with Gili Air that I already knew coming into this is that it's a very rustic place. I mean, I didn't come here expecting the Four Seasons. And, you know, my Airbnb for $19 a night, it's clean. And it is, I mean, I can't really say if it's a good location or not, because I think, like, there's no bad location per se in Gili Air, because it's such a tiny island. But anyway, breakfast is actually included, which is something that I didn't even realize when I booked this place. So that is one bonus, but yeah, I would have liked hot water. That's one thing, because after being at the beach all day, I would have loved to just like be under a warm shower for at least 5 minutes and have, you know, a proper enjoyable shower experience instead of like a really fast cold one. And the other thing that I recommend if you come to Gili Air and you actually care about your hair is to wash your hair with bottled water, because the water that they use here is usually just the ocean water, so you're getting a lot of salt and whatever else is in the ocean into your hair. So what I did is I washed my body in the shower, but I bought a big bottle of water and used that for shampooing and conditioning. So anyway, I think it's around 6:30 right now, and I'm gonna get dressed again and then get something to eat and then call it an early night, because I've been up since 5:45. So I've already been up for 12 hours and I need my at least 10 hours of sleep. So, all right, time to get dressed.